This episode of Access to the Arts is being made possible through the support of First Bank Richmond. Bank where you belong. Hi, and welcome to this edition of Access to the Arts. I'm Eric, Executive Director of Whitewater Community Television. Thank you very much for joining us. Having a chance to speak with Stephen Stoller, who is the musical director for the Richmond Jazz Orchestra. Thanks for being with us again.
Well, thank you for having me, Eric.
Had a chance to talk to you last month about Big Band Saturday Night, which is coming up on the 19th of October at the Coleman Center, 7 to 9:30, music of the 60s. The band is going to be performing an 18-piece band. Do all 18 members perform at Big Band Saturday Night?
Yes, they will. They will. Plus, we'll be joined with 7 vocalists.
All 7 vocalists are going to be at Big Band Saturday night?
They are.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. Music of the 60s. You've done the 40s, you've done the 50s. This year you're going to do music of the 60s,
yes,
which ought to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Talk about your album, Big Band Saturday Night.
Yeah.
Golden Music of the 40s, presented by the Richmond Jazz Orchestra. Why or how did you all decide you wanted to do a full CD?
Well, it started with our performance at Big Band Saturday Night back in 2022, where we did classic music of the 40s, and we got to thinking, well, let's make a CD out of this. So we did, and starting in January of the following year, 2023, for several months, we recorded 15 of those numbers that we did at Big Band Saturday Night. So this includes, here's the album, Big Band Saturday Night, music of the 40s. Just great classic numbers of Glenn Miller, Artie Shaw, Tommy Dorsey, Duke Ellington, my favorite, Harry James, because I'm a trumpet player.
Okay.
And others, Stan Kenton, Woody Herman, and so forth. And we recorded this at the Milk House Studios, which is actually here in Richmond. Mm-hmm. And Jeff Templeton was our sound engineer. And then following the recordings, I spent lots of time in the studio with Jeff and in evenings doing the sound editing. So we're very happy with the result. Mm-hmm. And our wonderful primary vocalist, Sarah Burkett, is on a number of the tracks. She has a phenomenal voice, and she provides the vocals for a number of these. So it's an exciting album, and it brings to life something that we should never forget, which is our wonderful musical heritage in this country, including the big band era, okay, the classic big band era of the 1940s.
How did you decide which 15 tracks you were going to do?
Well, that's a great question. And
I get one per interview, so glad I got it.
Yeah, well, we wanted to be representative as much as possible of the diversity that is in American music in general, but in big band music in particular. So, for example, Les Brown, Harry James, Tommy Dorsey, Benny Goodman, Stan Kenton, Duke Ellington, Glenn Miller, Tommy Dorsey, Vera Lynn. Vera Lynn was a wonderful British vocalist of the World War II era. So we want to include not only the American component, but also the British component that was present back in that era, the World War II, 1940s era. Mm-hmm. Bing Crosby, wonderful crooner, back from the day. So that's where it started, and then just picking out some of the really wonderful ones, plus some of my personal favorites, I have to admit. We included the song Laura. My daughter's name is Laura, so I had to have that as homage to her. And, of course, I performed the trumpet solo on that track.
You got to take some perks being the musical director, right?
Absolutely. And I had to include, it's been a long, long time, by Harry James, of course. So that's in there. But it's very representative, I think, of the era. And, of course, the one probably classic number, the 1940s, if you ever watch a World War II era movie, chances are,
oh, yes,
on the soundtrack, you will hear Moonlight Serenade by
Okay.
Glenn Miller. So that's our closing number of the track, which is just very paradigmatic of the 1940s.
We can't talk about the price of this. I assume you all are still selling these, or
We
they
are,
are still available
yes.
for sale. If somebody's looking for a copy, how do they find it?
Easiest thing, Eric, would be to call the RGO office at 765-935-2306, and we can provide the pricing information. All of the proceeds, of course, go to our nonprofit organization. We are a nonprofit, so it helps to support our mission, our educational mission, the work we do with kids, and of course, helping to purchase music and so forth.
Talk a little bit about that educational purpose. I know
Yes.
that you all have connected with some high school students. I think you've got a high school student or two
Yes.
actually in the orchestra.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Our primary mission, other than entertaining our audiences, is educational. And educational for our members, but also for our audiences. So I always introduce our numbers with some sort of educational background regarding the number and the era it came from. But yes, and of course, a very important part of our educational mission is training young musicians. So some talented high school musicians are part of our band by design, and they play alongside their instructors, their high school band directors, and professional level musicians.
That's got to be cool for them.
Well, it's wonderful, yeah, and it raises their game, so to speak, which they love. It's a great challenge to them. And then as part of our mission also, we have joint concerts with area high school jazz bands. And this year we had one on May 8th with the Richmond and Centerville High School Jazz Bands.
Okay.
And I'm excited that in 2025, March 15th of 2025, thanks to a grant by the Indiana Arts Commission, we're going to be able to have a joint jazz fest, spring jazz fest, at Centerville High School. There will be afternoon clinics in the afternoon for training the high school musicians. We're going to have some gifted professional artists in to train the kids in improvisation and music performance, and then we'll have a joint concert in the evening. So again, that's all part of our educational mission.
Maybe as it comes closer, we'll be able to sneak a camera in
Oh,
and get
I
a little
think
video of some of the
Definitely.
afternoon as well as some of the evening performances.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome.
All right. Big Band Saturday night. If you have not had a chance to listen to it, check it out. You can find it, Richmond Jazz Orchestra, richmondjazz.org, or a phone number.
935-2306.
Always good to spend some time with you.
Well, thank you, Eric. Thanks. Nice to meet you.
A spark, an invitation into the world of the unknown. It moves us to change, to grow. It asks us to dream bigger. An idea is better shared. It ignites us, and we make each other bright. We can do great things together.
Although credit is not often given to the music department at our school, this past summer the Richmond Red Devil Marching Band achieved very impressive accomplishments in their competition circuit.
Well, we put together a really fun and exciting show that brought home some Richmond history by performing music that was written and performed at the Jeanette Studios in Richmond and recorded in the 1920s. And we also were very competitive with all the local bands, and we finished fourth at the Indiana Band Day State Fair. There were 38 bands, so fourth was a really good placing.
The marching band has basically moved up to another level from last summer. They've worked really hard, and we're tackling some really mature musical concepts and achieving things at a much higher level than we were last year.
I would say their improvement was tremendous, because not only did we do like a more complicated show than we did last summer, but we also did it, I think, better than we did last summer, and our score and our placing, I think, reflects that.
Incredible scores and exponential improvement aren't the only things that keep students excited about the marching band program.
I really enjoy, we have the basics of we're going to do a performance, we're going to involve flags, we're going to have dancing and obviously marching and all of that stuff. But I really like the creativity within the themes and seeing that develop over the summer to, put it into fruition, like what our theme started off as and what it's ending up as.
Well, I think marching band and color guard in particular are just, they're unlike any other sport, really. They're not, because it is still there's a competition aspect to it, but it's not really in the same sense where you're playing and anything could happen, I guess. It's all choreographed, it's all what you need to do, and it's up to you to do it.
I think what makes marching band such a unique experience is the connection of it and the camaraderie, because you come to band and you have so many people who like the same things as you, or at least one thing as you, which is playing music. But it's just fun to be near people you like when you're doing something you like.
Though the competition season has come to a close, the excitement of the music department is far from over. Don't miss the marching band's final performance at the halftime show of the August 30th football game. I'm Emily Hawkins, and this is RHS Live.
I want to welcome you to the Tom Thomas Gallery. This exhibition has been several years in the making, where we've been collaborating or talking to Terri, asking her what her visions are for this space. As a sculptor myself, I was blown away that she could fill this large room with such miniature work. There's over 200 pieces of wearable art and art objects in this space, and also several pieces in the display case. So don't forget to look at the display case in the hallway. I want to remind you that this exhibition goes to September 30th. So please, if you have the means to come back to the space and visit the artwork and listen to Terri's rich history and career in art. She had a very winding path through art, majored in art at Indiana University, left artwork for a while, and then returned back to it. So we're very honored to be able to feature her art and kind of celebrate her career tonight. But without further delay, I'd like to introduce Terri Logan.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, what a treat to see all of your wonderful faces, and what an honor that you came out in this crazy weather. So I appreciate your energy and effort to be here. Someone once said that if you get up in front of a crowd to calm your nerves, you imagine them naked. Only when I visualize, all I can see is you guys clothed and me naked. So if I stumble or stammer, please forgive me, because I'm not used to talking in front of a large group of people. But you're all friends, and so I'm excited to see you, and I'm excited to share my work with you. There are a few people I definitely want to thank. I want to start with IU East. My goodness, the generosity and the energy they put into this show is wonderful. I want to thank Chancellor Rome and Ken Chrismon and Ray for the initial invitation. It was wonderful. Carrie's guidance has been great. And then behind the scenes we had Kevin, Hayden, and Liz working. And Joe Swanson, got to mention him. He helped me hang every piece. And if you can imagine, he was so patient, because I go, ooh, let's put it here. Oh no, let's put it over here. Oh no, maybe here. So he was great. There are a few people I need to thank besides the list you will see over there on your program, on the press list. There are lots of people to thank, because no one gets here by themselves. Definitely want to single out Allie Rivera. Where are you?
Oh, she's right back here.
There's my Allie. And Bailey Mosey Hoffman. Now, I have to tell you, where is she?
She's back in that corner.
Okay, there you are. I have to tell you, these two gals are incredible metalsmiths in their own right. And we do something that many of you have attended called Art Times 3. But we have, in this small community, 3 generations of women metalsmiths. And I think that deserves a hand, because that's pretty special. This community has been so supportive, and many, many communities are not supportive of their local artists. So from day one, you guys have been on my side and been very, very supportive. I have to thank my family. Okay, this is where I get teary. So make me laugh if you can. My Ryan, where are you? Are you still here? He may have left. Because Ryan's not a social person. Ryan, wait.
There he is.
Every piece of metal you see, he's an artist in his own right, a sculptor. He had a show here a few years ago. Every piece of metal you see, he textured for me and gave me invaluable advice and critique. My Greg and my Ray, they flew in from Cambridge, Massachusetts. They are so helpful and so lovely. And finally, but not the least, where's my Jay? It's right there. Come here, baby. I have to take time to tell you this story. 35 years ago, I came to him, and I have a thriving practice as a psychotherapist, and said, I think I want to make jewelry. And he didn't laugh. He didn't scoff. He didn't give me a hard time. He has been my best friend, my witness, and I love you dearly. One last note. There's an old adage that says, if you have anything nice to say, you know the rest. Please enjoy, and thank you again for coming.
Hi, I'm Jeff Carter, member of the board for our Richmond Symphony Orchestra, and I'm here with Maestro Andres Lopera. And we're talking about the first concert of the season in September, and we're picking up where we left off. We left last season with a great large Mahler piece, and the stage was full of musicians, and this hall was full of sound, and clearly your enthusiasm. And so we're leaving last concert and picking up right where we left off with this concert. So talk about the September concert and what should we expect?
So I'm very excited about it because we're going to have very incredible music on stage. We're going to start with Leonard Bernstein's West Side Story Symphonic Dances. West Side Story is one of those pieces that we all know, right? It has been from being a musical, then now there's a movie about it in Disney Plus. There's like this incredible production of all of the music from West Side Story, and then we're going to start with the West Side Story Symphonic Dances. That what is very exciting about it too is we're going to have a saxophone player on stage that is included like as part of this orchestration.
Isn't that a little different?
Which is very different.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the saxophone is only used in very like rare pieces in the symphony orchestra, and this time you're gonna see the saxophone player that we're gonna have playing in a very jazzy way, which again goes to like the roots of Richmond being the birth of like recorded jazz.
I love how you know the story of this community. I love that.
This is like the part of like why we're starting with this piece, like to like celebrate this and to celebrate those roots and to have like, you know, that representation. And then after that, we will play a Capricho Español by Rimsky-Korsakov, which is an incredible piece that also very much showcases the orchestra, sort of the same composer that was in my audition, which when we played Scheherazade, also by Rimsky-Korsakov, which my thought process was exactly to like showcase the incredible members of the orchestra. So instead of a concerto, the orchestra is going to be the soloist. In this case, sort of as we did in Scheherazade, we're going to have an incredible concertmaster solo. And in the soloist this time, because our concertmaster Mary is getting married, so we're going to have a guest concertmaster, which his name is Stacy, a violin player from the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra, who was the concertmaster at my audition playing Scheherazade. So it's very exciting to have this person coming back to Richmond and showcase his talents with this community, which is he's an incredible player. After that, we will have an intermission, and then we were gonna go to our last piece, what is Pictures at an Exhibition by Mussorgsky, orchestrated by Ravel, which then you're gonna hear again the saxophone player playing in a totally different way, which is a very French sound. It's the same instrument in a totally different orchestration, in a different settings, and it's exciting to see this, the versatility of these instruments and like the sonority and what they can evoke. As a jazz will be one thing, and then this orchestration is a totally different thing what Ravel does. And yes, it's Pictures at an Exhibition, which is an incredibly demanding piece for an incredible orchestra. And it will be the beginning of our season.
So you have me curious. I know about jazz and a saxophone playing jazz. What does it mean to play French?
Yeah, so it's just a different approach to the sound. It's very it's a feeling. You're gonna have to come and see it. Yeah, you talk about like the vibration of the instrument, like the sonority of the instrument. In jazz, it's a lot more like it's the speed, it's the sound in different improvisations. Since the rhythmic motion is different. And also how Ravel orchestrates it, because Ravel is a master orchestrator. It's like one of the best orchestrators. What is an orchestrator means?
I was going to ask that question.
The orchestra is a canvas. It's like when you have different pictures, like different colors. Every sound has a different texture. Every instrument, like from the wood of the string players, like from like the body of their instrument that is wood, or like to the woodwinds or to the brass. All of these textures are different timbres, which is like a different plethora of colors. The saxophone is a hybrid between a woodwind and a brass instrument, and then it has it's a very peculiar sound. So when you use it in the context of jazz versus when you use it in the context that you're going to hear Ravel using it, it feels like a totally different experience.
Wow, so at the beginning, at the end, the saxophone is there, but we're going to get two different images painted for us with the sound.
Yeah.
And then another piece in the middle.
It
sounds like a really unique concert. For those, for all of us who are here, right? Those of us that participate in that concert in the audience, what do you want them to walk away feeling?
Oh, I never have like an agenda for like, I just come and celebrate. The music speaks by itself. Like, yes, it's I think if there's something maybe would be, again, I think it's like the pride of you as a community celebrating the 68th anniversary of this orchestra. It's the 68th season, and this speaks very, very highly of a community like Richmond, going through like everything that we go in history and ups and downs, understanding priorities and how music is a priority, and how now in my second season and as the fourth music director of this organization, how we're starting with a very unique concert that you are being part of. So I just want everybody to come here and celebrate with us the power of this incredible music.
And I love the pride that you hold when you say it's your second season.
Yeah.
Right? It's your second season, and continuing with such creativity. There is a larger arc to this season that we're not going to talk about, but there is this larger arc to the season with different concerts throughout, each one of them created and crafted uniquely with your gifts. And so just like you told me, I'll have to come and hear what it sounds like for a saxophone to play in a French motif. I'll say, if you're interested in the rest of the season, people need to come and be a part of it, right?
Yeah,
be a part of it.
It's like when I was creating the season, and I will talk with our incredible executive director Monica, that it's like we're creating like the musical menu for the community, and in this menu we have like different tastes. Every concert is a different experience. It's like when you go to a restaurant, you describe taste. You're like, oh, this tastes like this and this and this and this. Every concert will have a different taste in your palate, and it will be these incredible musicians and their versatility that you will feel like every experience being very unique.
And we've got incredible musicians. We have an incredible leader on the stage. Incredible staff, executive director and Monica, an incredible community.
Yes.
How can we not be proud of our Richmond Symphony Orchestra?
Yes.
Thanks so much for sharing about September. Can't wait to be there and hear this concert and listen to the saxophone play in these two different ways, and to see the picture that you'll paint with the musicians. So thanks Andres.
No, thank you, and I hope the community just keeps up with us and just know that it's an entire experience for the entire year. Yes. So
fantastic. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for this Access to the Arts made possible by the great folks at First Bank Richmond. We always appreciate their support. Thanks for watching, and as always, I wish you well. This episode of Access to the Arts is being made possible through the support of First Bank Richmond, bank where you belong.